heard accusations from Ukrainian officials, from the operator of that nuclear power plant, that the Russians have essentially turned this into a military base.
An investigation by BBC has revealed an organised system of torture inside Russian prisons, with those responsible rarely held to account. Former prisoners gave accounts of suffering horrific physical and sexual abuse, including rape. The Russian prison service has not commented on the findings. Oleg Boldarev reports.
The BBC has found that systemized torture, including rape and humiliations, pervades Russia's prison system. It's carried out to gain confessions and to control inmates. Staff direct and commit the abuse and also hire hardened prisoners to carry out their dirty work in exchange for privileges. The BBC, with access to the biggest leak of prison torture videos in Russia's history, worked to expose the wide-ranging nature of this abuse. The team also analyzed thousands of court documents and found that from 2015 to 2019, almost half of prison staff convicted in the most serious prisoner abuse trials were only handed suspended sentences.
Votes are being counted in Kenya, where a new president is being chosen to succeed Uhuru Kenyatta. A former political prisoner and veteran opposition leader, Raila Odinga, is competing with Deputy President William Ruto. Polling day was largely peaceful, but turnout was low. News from the BBC. The Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has reshuffled his cabinet in an attempt to stem falling public support after the assassination of his predecessor Shinzo Abe. Among those to lose their jobs are politicians with reported links to the Unification Church, which has been in the spotlight since Mr. Abe's killer blamed it for bankrupting his mother. The former Prime Minister's grandfather had close ties to the church. China has reiterated that it will take all necessary measures, including the use of force, to reunify with Taiwan, in the first white paper to be issued on the subject for more than 20 years. Tensions remain high following the visit to the self-governing island by the US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and China's military drills in surrounding waters. The policy document said Beijing would work towards a peaceful reunification, but there was no room for separatist activities. Police in New Mexico have arrested an immigrant from Afghanistan following the killings of 4 Muslim men in the US state's largest city, Albuquerque. They named the suspect as Mohammed Syed, himself a Muslim. The authorities said the killings may have been rooted in a personal grudge, possibly with sectarian overtones, but the motive was still unclear. Albuquerque's Deputy Police Commander, Kyle Hartsock, was speaking at a news conference there.
We saw him load into a vehicle. As a matter of fact, the vehicle we believe that was used in the homicides that we put out on the poster, and we followed him. Our SWAT team executed a search warrant safely on the occupied home. Multiple firearms were recovered from that home. Right now we believe that at least one of them inside the home and one of them inside the car are matching to our 2 crime scenes.
The author and illustrator Raymond Briggs, best known for the book The Snowman, has died. He was 88. The book features a young boy and his snowman. BBC News.
Hello, this is the BBC World Service. I'm Harriet Gilbert. Welcome to World Book Club. Today, as part of our year-long celebration of the exuberance of youth, here's another chance to hear about a debut novel published when the author was only 26. Winner of a fistful of awards, chosen by Oprah as a Book of the Year, the novel is called Homegoing. And to answer questions about it from readers around the globe, I was delighted to be joined from her home at the height of the COVID epidemic by its Ghanaian-American author, Ya Jassi. Ya, big welcome to World Book Club.
Hi, Harriet. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure. I gather that if it wasn't for COVID, you'd now be on tour promoting your new novel, Transcendent Kingdom. So it must be a bit frustrating to be stuck there in New York.
Yeah, it's such a strange experience, especially having the homegoing experience to compare it to now be stuck in my apartment, virtually on tour, but not physically on tour.
Public. Now, we know there's going to be a meeting tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. Between Kwasi Kwarteng, between the Energy Business Minister, and between Nadeem Zahawi, the Chancellor, as well as energy bosses, big bosses, to try and see what can be done about the current projections of energy prices. We know that there's a lot of pressure to potentially expand the windfall tax that we saw implemented in the springtime by Rishi Sunak. He's been heavily criticised for the fact that there were too many loopholes and too many kind of get out of jail free almost cards in relation to that tax, and actually potentially another 5 or even 10 billion could be raised if they tweaked it slightly. We still don't know if that's going to be backdated or not. We don't know the detail because we don't know for sure it will be changed, but with the expectation is it might be changed. The issue here for Rishi Sunak is he's pressed a lot on helping vulnerable people, on helping people who need it the most and having targeted support, whereas Liz Truss, she wants to focus on tax cuts and that's stimulating growth. So Rishi Sunak also yesterday in the hustings said he wouldn't work around the table with Liz Truss unless she changed her opinions, essentially, which is the kind of crux of her campaign on tax cuts and how that's going to help households.
Mari, thanks very much.
The only way to help them is with direct support, because tax cuts alone are not much good if you're a pensioner who's not earning any extra money. They're not much good if you're working hard on the national living wage, because Liz's tax cut is worth about £1 a week for that person. It's worth £0 for a pensioner. The question is, if you only want to help these people with tax cuts, I'm struggling to see how it's possible. Right. So we can get in a room all you want, but at the end of the day, that policy is not going to work. So if you can get Liz to change her mind on that when she talks to you, I'm very happy to get in the room and we can hammer this out.
You can see they're just not willing to work with each other. They've just got fundamental differences of opinion on economic policy and on tax cuts versus handouts. But the issue is, I think a lot of people in the public and Tory voters will be thinking to themselves, you are from the same party, you should ultimately believe in the same things. This is not, a Labour versus Tory kind of argument, and actually perhaps it's best to put your differences aside to be able to work for the better of the country, to sort this energy crisis out. But obviously for now it's not happening. There would need to be huge calls for that kind of reconciliation, for them to get around the table, which I don't think is very likely. We know the public, and we spoke to some Tory members this morning on the breakfast show as well, all wanting help now, all wanting a plan now, and time is very much of the essence. So the question is, will Tory members be displeased by the fact that neither candidate is willing to get around that table and really hash out some level of plan ahead of the result on the 5th of September?
Mari, thanks very much. Well, the UK is bracing itself for days of extreme temperatures and the latest heatwave to hit the country. The UK Health Security Agency has issued a level 3 heat health alert across the whole of England. That will run until Sunday amid concerns about water shortages. Meanwhile, the Met Office has issued an amber warning for extreme heat for parts of England and Wales from Thursday. Well, that Met Office warning will be in place until Sunday, covering much of England and parts of Wales as well. Temperatures will climb just about everywhere through the week, possibly reaching 36 Celsius in the south on Saturday. Well, British farmers have raised their concerns about the effects of the dry climate on their crops, with many having to manually pump water into their fields and facing overwhelming energy bills as a result. Joining me now is our correspondent Fraser Maud, who's at a farm in Suffolk. Fraser, what are they able to do there?
Well, they've managed to just about get through the season so far here on the Euston estate in Suffolk. They've got something like 1,200 acres of root crops, potatoes, carrots, parsnips and onions, and they're the ones that need lots of irrigation. For the last 2 months they've been irrigating them using water from this reservoir and another one. Now, this reservoir normally holds 80 million gallons of water, and in most years they manage to get through the season and leave this about half full, so that they've got some stocks in hand ready for the next growing season. But as you can see, this one is completely empty. They have got another reservoir that holds 100 million gallons. That's down to about 6 million gallons at the moment, and they'll use those water supplies in order to water the potatoes, in order to get them out of the ground. They need to irrigate them before they can actually lift them. So all of this costs money. They have to pump this water around this huge estate here, and their normal electricity bill for doing that in a normal year will be something like £80,000. This year they've spent £250,000 already, and they're expecting that bill to go up to about £350,000 by the end of the season, when all the crops are finally removed from the ground. So you can see a huge increase there in the cost of production, but they can't get that money back from the people that they're selling them to. They're selling them to the retailers, mainly large supermarkets, and the prices for those goods were fixed last year. So they're in a fixed cap price market as far as that goes. They can't pass the extra cost on to the purchasers, and so the purchasers will then hopefully renegotiate, or what they're hoping to do is renegotiate this year for a better deal for next year. And if they can't do that with more extreme weather seemingly happening more and more often with global warming and the climate crisis that we're facing at the moment, and the danger is that many farms like this might decide to grow far fewer of those crops, those root crops that need lots of irrigation, because they'll be worried about increased costs of next year. Energy prices set to rise again and again and again into the future, so it's going to deter people actually providing the sort of crops that we need. It's got a knock-on effect for the livestock as well. There are about 1,000 sheep here on this estate. Many of them are about 10% underweight already because of the lack of grazing facilities. They've got winter storage food. They're almost having to dip into that at the moment. They're giving some of the cattle here, 60 head of cattle as well, giving them straw at the moment. They've managed to just about avoid dipping into their winter stores of food, but many farms around here haven't been so lucky. So of course that means that they'll then be buying in food over the winter, and because of the situation in Ukraine, feed costs like that are going up and up. The only slight silver lining to, well, there aren't any clouds, but you get my meaning, is the fact that the cereal crops, the wheat and barley, they've been harvested in record time because of this dry weather. They've got them in nice and early, they've got them in without having to dry any of the grain, so they've reduced the drying costs there, and because of the Ukraine situation, prices are pretty buoyant in terms of cereal crops. So good news there, but in terms of what they want the government to do, they want the government to make it easier to put reservoirs in. They say that this one alone took 2 years of planning permission, of trying to get through planning in order for them to install it. They say that should be made a lot easier, and it should be made easier to move water around the country to help those areas most in need. Here in East Anglia, it's been the driest July since records began back in 1836. That was off the back of the driest January to June period since 1976. So the lack of rainfall is causing serious problems. It means that they're having to really think carefully about their water use. They're having to move water around at hugely increased costs because of the energy prices, and none of those costs at the moment can they pass on to the consumer or to the retailer. So a lot of renegotiation to be done, a lot of thinking for farmers in terms of the type of crops that they're going to grow, and those which need the most irrigation, those which are the heaviest users of water. Farmers are really going to think twice before putting those crops in. They may well resort to putting in cereals, more wheat, more barley, things like that, in order to try and offset those costs and try and make a living as they go on. So they are all praying for rain at the moment. There is some rain forecast for next week. It's probably not going to be enough to fill the rivers enough for them to be able to take water out of the rivers and restock these reservoirs. They'd love to start the next growing season with a 25% stock of water. At the moment, they're down to about 6%, and they're probably going to use most of that before the harvesting season is finished.
Fraser, thanks very much. Well, the hot weather is, of course, not just affecting the UK. A leading scientist at the European Commission has warned that Europe is on course to experience the worst drought in 500 years. Our Europe correspondent, Siobhan Robbins, reports now from the south of France, where parts of the country are suffering the worst drought on record.
In Sayon, the river is dry. This fountain no longer flows. The ground is parched. This village, like much of France, is in the grip of the country's worst ever drought. I've lived here for 17 years and never seen this, says the chief of police, Philippe Greneche. Since April, not a drop of water. It's sad. Philippe is taking us to see the emergency supplies many here now rely on. One of the village's main water sources has dried up. So 8 times a day, this truck pumps water into the systems so the taps don't run completely dry. People are limited to 200 litres a day. Philippe's daily police patrol now includes looking out for water thieves. Break the rules, and it's a €1,500 fine. This shows you just how bad things have got. This river has been dry since the winter, when it should have been overflowing, and it's a picture being repeated across 2/3 of France, which are currently at a drought crisis level. 4 heat waves have triggered weeks of wildfires. and in places reduced the mighty Loire to a stream. Last week, 100 places were without tap water.
D'oliviers qui n'ont pas eu d'eau depuis le printemps.
Even Marais' heat-loving olives are suffering. The ground around them so dry, it crunches.
Mais pratiquement, sur les arbres, il y a très très peu d'olives. Celui-ci n'en a pas du tout. Voilà, vous regardez les branches, il n'y a pas du tout d'olives. La récolte 2022, il n'y aura pratiquement rien. Hein.
So far, restaurants' water isn't being restricted here. But if the drought gets worse, everyone's supply may need to be controlled. A disaster, says Patrick.
Je reçois des gens qui mangent et qui boivent, il faut bien de l'eau dans les toilettes. Donc à ce moment-là, on nous dit de fermer. Hein. Si j'ai une restriction, il vaut mieux fermer. Hein.
But there is no respite, nothing to quench this arid land. Another week of high temperatures means much of France will continue to bake. Siobhan Robbins, Sky News, Sayon, South East France.
Well, Siobhan sent us this update this morning.
A really difficult week ahead for France again. They're in their fourth heat wave, and you can see the impact that continuous hot weather is having on the local environment. As you say, you can see I'm in a riverbed. Locals tell us that usually there'd be water in here. It's totally dry. There's dry leaves here on the ground as well. They say it's been like this for months, and that's because not just they've had these intense periods of heat, but also because the winter was much drier. There wasn't as much snow on the mountains to go down and feed the system. There wasn't as much rain. We went to a village up the road yesterday, and the local policeman there said they haven't really seen a drop of rain since April. That is causing big problems. So areas like this, which have also been hit very hard by these heat waves, have also been hit by this massive drought, which is affecting now in a crisis level 2/3 of France. So some of the villages around here have had periods where they haven't had drinking water. Some of them, the boreholes which feed the local system, have totally dried up. So they're having to get water driven in 8 times a day, pumped into the system, so that when they turn the taps on, they still have something to drink. But in order for that to continue, there are now restrictions in certain places. So in one village we're in, you're only allowed 200 litres of water per day. And climate change experts are telling us this is expected to continue across Europe, because as the temperature gets hotter, we're likely to experience more extreme drought events.
Siobhan Robbins there. Now, Sky News understands that the UK is about to run out of the monkeypox vaccine. Sources suggest supply issues mean there are only around 5,000 doses left, with bookings in some areas already closed. It's led to concerns that those who are most vulnerable to the infection will be unable to receive a vaccination. We'll have more on that coming up in a little while. At 10:45, we're going to be talking to the Terence Higgins Trust about the outbreak. Stay with us for that. This is Sky News Today. Coming up, whale rescue, the refrigeration mission to save a beluga that got stuck in the Seine.
I think it's really important to acknowledge the impact that such an iconic figure would have on other people affected by breast cancer, and also raising awareness and, affecting women and men coming forward with symptoms and being investigated themselves, as well as, that visible figure of being very open and honest about her own experience of her cancer and her cancer treatments. Peer to peer, and whilst people may not have known her, on an individual level, being so iconic and being so relatable for some people, that would have added to the kind of support around their own experiences, and for some people feeling less alone. And as I said, at Breast Cancer Now, we're here to support people through anyone affected by breast cancer and through that process. But yeah, certainly, people like Olivia Newton-John adding to that campaign of wanting to support people and people be aware and come forward with symptoms is invaluable. It's certainly important for everyone to be breast aware because we know 55,000 women, 370 men are diagnosed every year. So it's certainly important for people to be breast aware, knowing what's normal for them so that they can then report symptoms such as breast lumps, changes of the skin, lumps to the armpit up to the collarbone region, changes in the nipple, such as things like a bloodstained discharge. But also, as you say, the NHS breast screening programme and mammograms for women aged 50 to 70 every 3 years. And if you are invited, you know, it is advisable to go forward and have your mammogram, even if you don't have any symptoms.
A move that would make a third world dictator blush. That was the official comment from Donald Trump's spokesperson over the FBI raid on the president's Florida home. The US Justice Department has not issued an explanation about the search, which is thought to be part of an investigation into whether Mr. Trump took classified records from the White House to his Florida residence. But the anger of his supporters shows no signs of abating. They've gathered outside his Palm Beach estate in Florida. Our international affairs editor, Dominic Waghorn, is at Mar-a-Lago and sent this report.
Trump supporters descended on Mar-a-Lago, outraged by the FBI's search of his home. Della Stryker, who works there, said the place had been violated. How did you feel when you heard it was being searched by federal agents?
I feel like I'm raped. I feel like there's a rape going on. Walk to the front place, and this place has been wrecked. That 30 FBI people can walk in and do that to a man's home when all they had to do was call him. He would have shown him and opened the safe.
There was no comment from Donald Trump himself, though, as he left his New York home. Recorded on the night of the raid, saying only this.
Another day in paradise. This was a strange day.
The Department of Justice and the FBI are also saying nothing about their unprecedented search of a former president's home. But investigators are closing in on Donald Trump, a federal appeals court ruling he must hand over his tax records to Congress. One senior US official has confirmed that this search was connected with allegations that Donald Trump removed and abused presidential records after leaving office. We won't know what legal jeopardy that puts him in until we know what agents found. But the political implications of this are clearer and may well be in Donald Trump's favour. Trump's acolytes are having a field day, exploiting the FBI's action for maximum political gain, painting him again as the victim of a politicised Department of Justice.
A lot of people who might not find themselves overly political, maybe they didn't even vote for President Trump. They're now going to see this and think that it was just so disgusting that we're now using our law enforcement as a weapon.
And it is time to start talking about greatness for our country again.
Some are going further, saying this is the time Donald Trump should announce he's running for president again. In the hours after the raid, he issued this video.
The tyrants we're fighting do not
looked very much like an ad for a new Trump campaign. Outside Mar-a-Lago, they urged him to run. Should he run again?
Absolutely. Absolutely. He is going to. He's going to.
You think he's going to?
Yes. Oh, yeah, I do.
Obrigado. If investigating a former president is hard enough, doing so with a presidential candidate will be even more challenging. Dominic Waghorn, Sky News in Florida.
A rescue operation has successfully lifted a stranded beluga whale from the River Seine in northern France. The whale had strayed into a saltwater basin and swum down the river. Rescuers have been working since Friday to free the animal over fears over its rapidly declining health. Well, a team of 24 experts and other volunteers worked for 6 hours to free the whale using cranes and nets, and they then loaded the animal into a refrigerated truck. And it's been driven 100 miles for care in a saltwater lock before hopefully being released back into the sea. Well, time to take a look at the very warm weather.
Warm memories wherever you go. The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways.
Well, the week will bring heat wave conditions with any rain confined to the far north, but we're unlikely to reach record temperatures seen last month. The Met Office has issued an amber warning for extreme heat for much of southern Britain from Thursday through to Sunday. It'll be very warm for most of us today, hot in the south, but quite cool and windy in the northwest. Developing sea breezes will keep it a bit cooler near many coasts as well. Most places will be dry with almost unbroken sunshine this afternoon. But the Hebrides, the Northern Isles and the far northwest and mainland Scotland will be largely overcast. There'll be some fog on the coasts and hills there and perhaps a little rain or drizzle at times. The far north
and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe. Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do that?
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of digging the hole of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Broadcasting live online.
Body is your man. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And I sabi you know, just have fun and stay blessed.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
The best radio show.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's flying high
You know how I feel. Sun in the sky. You know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie, and it's a Starr Radio UK and the morning show.
This is Starr Radio. This is
UK.
Starr Radio
UK.
This is Starr Radio
UK.
Welcome.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Welcome.
Love for you runs deep. All of you makes my heart beat. You make a doubt they fade, Jesus, and that's what makes you great. You hold the world in your hands, the hand that made me who I am. Same God now, yesterday, and forevermore. And that's what makes you great. You are God. You will never change. You remain the same till the end. Till the end. You are God. One who took my pain, took away my shame. Lord, you reign. That's why forever call you great. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord.
Okay, that is how I say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. What you make is great. What makes you great? What makes you great? God. From Edith Morrison. And on that note, I say welcome to the show. I am yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
All of you makes my heart beat. You make a doubt they fade.
Well, I'm going to make sure that your doubt there fades away.
Makes you great.
And make sure that you enjoy your day.
You hold the world.
So let me say good morning to my team, Mr. Olayomi Kwaiki, Mr. Frank Davis working behind the scenes, and Mr. Francis Guy, my able producer. And let me say good morning to Felix all the way in Aberdeen, and to you all wonderful listeners from across the globe who enjoy the show that we bring your way each day. Well, today is Wednesday, the 10th day of August, the year 2022. And of course, it's a Wednesday edition of the morning show, meaning that finishes exactly at 12 o'clock. So what have we got in stock for you? We got a few. I'm going to bring you the quote of the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. And then exactly at 11 o'clock, we have Ms. Olayomi joining in to bring you updates from Nigeria. Well, those of you who have missed out on the Niger voices in the past, you don't have to do so, because tonight another wonderful program is going to be coming your way. I'll be telling you more about that in a moment. But then after that update from Nigeria, we'll move on to look at some of the other stories across the globe. At 11:30, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions. And then at 12 o'clock, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. It is a Wednesday edition. I hope I'm able to make your day.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
As I did announce yesterday, if you are listening to us and you have a music that you want us to sample it for you, now feel free, just forward it to us and I'll make sure that that is done. And this one from Edith Morrison, as I did say. Now let's move on straight to some of the quotes that we have for you today. Those who learn to endure the discomfort enjoy the comfort the most. You learn to endure the discomfort. When the comfort comes, you enjoy it the most.
You make a doubt they fade, Jesus, and that's what makes you great. You hold the world in your hands, the hand that made me who I am. Same God now, yesterday, and forevermore.
Okay, so let's move on straight to the weather front. So on the weather front today, for London and the southeast of England, yes, it will be another dry and fine day with extensive spells of sunshine and very little in the way of cloud. It will be a very warm or hot day with gentle winds. This evening will continue dry with late spells of sunshine. Tonight will be dry with clear skies, but a few patches of mist and fog will develop in places. A warm night expected as well. Top temperature 30 degrees, the lowest 16 degrees, pollen level moderate, UV level high, and pollution low. Sunset 20:33 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 05:37 hours. And that brings us to the end of the weather forecast. Okay, let's take a commercial break and I'll bring you the travel updates.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Okay, it's now time for your travel updates wherever you are. Keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. We'll keep you navigated. Starr Radio UK is coming out with new tunes and new jingles for various part of the show. So please just stay tuned and don't you go away. It is now time for the travel updates. 10:47. Well, so on the underground this morning, good service throughout the London Overground DLR London Tramlink, good service there as well. On the major roads in London, well, A1, A4, Blackwall Tunnel, Central London Red Routes, South Circular, A205, have all got closures. By the other side, A40 has got serious delays and not circular A406. Serious delays there as well. If you can avoid it, do your best to avoid that. And let's move on straight to the river bus. On the river bus, apart from the Woolwich Ferry that is suspended, all the others have got good service. Now, the final segment of the travel update, that's the National Rail. On the National Rail, First Transparent Express and Southwestern Railway and Thameslink have all got special service. Apart from Northern Rail, that has got minor delays. So I will say once again, as I do, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Guys, this is your friend Ruth from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Okay, welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. Let me say good morning to Taiwo KK. It's a good afternoon, Yoruba Nation. No going back. Miss Gold, good day to you. I hope you're also doing very, very well as well. Okay, now let's go global trotting. Now, when it comes to the story, some of the story that we're going to be looking at when it comes to Niger. Yes. OBG is stronger than hand they shake, head they shake. Reaction as former President Obasanjo forces his grandson. I'm going to be bringing you more details about that. Well, he is a former president, but he is trying to make sure that he cracks the whip. Now, President Kufuor clears air on asking Tinubu to give Peter Obi a chance. Well, there has been some rumor going on that that statement has been made, but well, let's see what is happening on that front. The Ghanaian president, has come to deny that while Atiku should win presidential election, Babangida is also Babangida. Yes, he is the one making that statement there. We'll be looking into some of those what do you call it, stories making the rounds from Nigeria, and some others making the rounds still in Ghana. Well, the electricity board say that, well, having electricity is a privilege and not a right. It's a privilege, and this pertains to what is happening in part of the eastern region in Ghana, where community who thought that their bills were hyped earlier on decided to beat the electricity workers, and therefore they decided now that, well, they're going to fix pay as you go meters there, and these people said they didn't want it in their communities because it runs like no man's business. The moment you top up, it's gone like wind. Okay, so they decided that now they're not going to allow them to come and fix those pay meters, and then the electricity company has decided to just shut the whole thing down. So that whole community has not got electricity. And when the boss was called to a radio station to come and defend himself, he said, well, you know what, electricity is not a right, it is a privilege. Do you agree with that? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. Now, what about those who have paid, who have contract? They have nothing to do with whoever is saying that they're not going to pay their bills. They paid their bills, and now their businesses and things like that are suffering. What do you think about that? SIM card registration. Your military authoritative orders. SIM card registration. Your military authoritative orders to Ghanaians won't work. Nana Ofori cautions Ursula Owusu. How is that not going to? Yeah, we'll be looking into that as well. It is one of the stories making the rounds in Ghana. Now, Akufo-Addo appoints Kofi Japan as acting CEO of YEA. Well, it's time for him to do his own switch of chop, get all the nice cars and do his own thing. Now, CDD Ghana will be against any action that may disenfranchise Ghanaians. How are they going to go about it? We'll bring you more on that front. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. As Wednesday edition of the morning show, we'll do our best to just scroll through as quickly as we can. Now, Senegalese takes to the streets to celebrate Tajabun. Since our childhood, we have had this atmosphere in every Tajabun, as the night of Ashura is called in Senegal, when children were used. Well, we'll bring you more on that front. What does that actually mean? And the DRC, former Tshisekedi ally, held for insulting the president. Now, Jean-Marc Kabund worked as the head of Tshisekedi's Union for Democracy and Social Progress Party before being expelled in July. And well, he's insulted the president, and now he's being held. Okay, and a vote counting underway after the Kenyan vote. We'll be bringing you more on that front as well. When it comes to Africa, well, are we going to see a peaceful transition to the next government in Kenya? Well, or the president and his government in Kenya? We'll be looking more into that as well. Now, moving on straight to some other stories making the rounds. As you know, it is a Wednesday edition of the morning show, and therefore we don't have too much time to spend. Now, war must end with liberation of Crimea, Zelensky is saying. Now, Ukraine's president devotes nightly address to Crimea after explosions rock a Russian airbase there. Well, don't you think that the Russians would say that you guys, you're trying to inflict wounds on us, and therefore they will back out and then come in and all gun blazing and destroy things? Well. We're going to be looking into that. Now, Republican uproar over FBI search of Trump's home. Now, Mike Pence is among those demanding an explanation from Attorney General for the unprecedented move. Did he actually take, is it actually that they can establish the fact that he took some documents of that sort? And that is the time that we will need the FBI to come out ASAP and virtually come and tell us exactly what went down there, okay, or what has gone on there. Well, it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Now, energy crisis is on scale of pandemic. Now, who is speaking? Martin Lewis, the money man as well. The government support needs to double to make up for the huge expected rise in bills, the consumer expert has said. And he's saying that with all this banter going on between the two front runners of the the Conservative Party, it is about time they stop or whatever, or come to agree on something that this is the way forward for it, because people are clamoring, people are desperate, people are virtually not knowing what to do next. One is saying I'm going to be cutting tax, one is saying, well, I'm going to be giving you some monies as we did in the COVID times, or yes, to help you settle down so that you can go on. But what do you think about all that? Well, this and a lot more going to be coming your way. 4-day extreme heat warning in England and Wales, and I will beg everybody not to involve themselves in any barbecues, because that is what causes if it's like a house where it's all cemented, or in a place like that, fine. But when you go to the parks where there are grasses and people, especially those who smoke as well, we want to appeal to them not to be throwing the cigarette butts, not actually making sure that it's quenched, or the fire is out before they throw it down or leave it down for it to spark any fires. Because what we saw a couple of weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we don't want to see anything or experience anything of that sort, do we? Well. It is All Starr Radio UK. Let me say good morning to Michael Opoku, and thank you very much for watching as well, Michael. All right then. Now, so let's move on to some of the other stories making the rounds. One more, and then we take the break. Okay, my producer says it's 11 o'clock. I therefore have to take the break. I'll bring you the music, and then after that we should have updates from Nigeria. Stay tuned. Don't you go away. What Makes You Great by Edith Morrison. Enjoy.
Love for you.
Let me say good morning to Michael Ade.
All of you makes my heart beat. You make a doubt they fade. Jesus, and that's what makes you great. You hold the world in your hands.
In your car, at work, at home, on the smartphone. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
This is Starr Radio.
And forevermore. And that's what makes you great. You are God. You will never change. You remain the same to the end. To the end. You are God. One who took my pain, took away my shame. Lord, you reign. That's why forever call you great. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. Great is to be praised. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. 'Cause I'm celebrate.
Okay, What Makes You Great by Edith Morrison, coming your way this morning on the Starr Radio UK Morning Show. Bringing the time now to 2 minutes past the top of the hour. It is a Wednesday edition of the morning show, and therefore you know that the Wednesday mornings we don't have too much time to spare, but we got so much to bring your way, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. And therefore, let me take this opportunity to welcome the one and only Mr. Olayomi, aka the White Lion. Yomi, good morning.
Well, a very good morning to you back in the studio, Mr. Archie. A very good afternoon to some of our listeners in the different part of the globe. Good morning to those listening to us from Nigeria. And we say welcome once again to Starr Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. It is the 10th of August, 2022.
Yes. How are you doing, sir?
Well, it is, like I always say, good to be back every Monday to Friday and every morning, just as we do all the update, especially as a lot of information that we give from here has also been able to help some of our listeners in back home, whether education purpose or for the purpose for them to prepare, sometimes for moving around in Nigeria. As we do know, there's a lot happening in Nigeria, but I'm doing very well. And like I always say, we are still in that holiday mode with the children at home. So if you're listening to some of those small little background noise, just know that it is those little engineer at the back.
Yes. Those are our engineers who are helping us out in the background. Okay. Yes. So there are a few stories now. Let's quickly touch on something that I did mention before we come on the ones that you have for us. Now the Ghanaian president is alleged to have told Tinubu that, well, you know what, because of your age or something, allow Peter Obi to run. And well, he's come out to debunk that statement. But what has been going on pertaining to that, if you know?
Well, it seems when it comes to Nigeria politics, just as you were talking about the Kenya as well, is a complete different thing entirely. And even as this morning, there is still a lot of conversation regarding Nigeria. Tinubu himself, Emilokon is actually trending again this morning on the Twitter. And when it comes to hashtag Emilokon, that is the phrase of Tinubu when he was actually telling the Nigerians, especially the Yoruba, during his engagement in Ogun State, that Emilokon, which stands for "it is my turn," whether it is his turn or not. All these will be determined, with Nigerians as they're preparing for the election, as those that are also saying it is actually not worth to be part of any Nigeria anymore. And that means we should stand on our own. There's a lot of energy with the youth, with Peter Obi. Both other two political parties are so much aware that there is now not just, brushing aside a particular party, because the obedient are really pushing both online and offline their campaign to make Peter Obi the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But like I said, if I just give you one person here says, I am so happy. This is Archie Angel Jesse. I'm not sure whether he's in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, but looking at the picture, it seems she's probably an Igbo, but married to a Westerner living outside Nigeria, because I can see that both the children and the husband are from Europe somewhere. But she said, and I quote here, "I am so happy to be part of the generation that took back their country." Those, let me complete that. The happiest family are obedient. This is a global movement. Peter Obi to the world, we are obedient. But Ashiwaju, South, Wike, Chimadi, hashtag Emilokon. But the question, and this was posted just 60 minutes ago, but if I now go back again and review somebody like Are Kanunwi, someone that believes that I am a Yoruba first and last, apostle of Yoruba tribalism, general overseer, Yoruba nationalism ministry. This individual, 10 minutes ago, we Yoruba people don't need to end up in concentration camps before we think Yoruba first. When I'm not going to use the word that has been used, because it's not a very word that we can use on the program. When they hit the fan, it will only remain you and your people. It was the ethnic Kurdish militia called Peshmerga that defended the Kurdistan in Iraq. not the US or the Iraq military. So you can see that the generation right now, as much as some want Peter Obi, some, like Ghana president, and probably have debunked that, will say that, why not allow Peter Obi? But the indigenous people are saying, why not allow the disintegration, and the breakup of Nigeria?
Which one do we want? Disintegration, breakup of Nigeria, or we allow Peter Obi to take the reins and then we see what happens from that. Let me say once again, Michael Ade says, you guys are doing a great job. Well done, Michael Ade, for joining us as well. And those of you who have joined us on the various Facebook platforms, a few of you on the Archie Hammond, some on the Starr Radio UK fan club, and all the others, we want to salute each and every one of you, and we say kudos, because without you, we cannot do anything, and we appreciate you. I say all the time, especially those of you outside the country, it costs you an arm and a leg to actually listen to us or watch us, and you do it religiously. It is updates from Nigeria, 8 minutes past 11 the time. Mr. Olayomi Kwekina, North London studios. I'm Archie here in the South studios. Again, gunmen rob motorists on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And that's the question I was asking. What measures have government put in place? Because we have Buhari, who is going on saying that, well, I've given the military or the security agencies all the power to be able to, quench the fiery finance of these terrorists who are rampaging our town. Now I know that they gave him 6 weeks. I don't know how many weeks is gone past now, and we want to know. But this going on once again is quite worrying.
Well, you're quite right. Robbery is something that happens, across the globe, and it's not just in a particular part of the world. But the question is, do we have the mechanism? There was a robbery incident on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway at the early hours of this morning. The robbery occurred between 5 and 6:15 a.m. These are the time that operations does happen, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of Nigerians will say that when you look at the insecurity in the country, you would definitely understand that you could be a victim of a crime, whether a carjack or whether a robbery in Italy, as you can think of. The robbery that we said happened is just under 1 hour 15 minutes. The passenger of one of the bus plying the road at the time, named Olayomi, say that many motorists literally had to abandon their vehicle. There was a robbery, and because of the robbery, people out of fear began to run. Some people hit the cars of others. Someone is lying on the ground lifeless, and we heard that someone was killed. These are the current situation, like I said, happening in Nigeria this morning, just about 5 o'clock local time in Nigeria. Starr Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Well, as we say, may Nigeria not happen to you. What have been the reaction from the security agencies or from the federal government? Have they said anything about that before then? Let me say good morning to Suleiman Yusuf. Say good morning, Koike, and you all. Good morning. Hope you are doing very well. Now, what has the federal government or the Minister for Transport or whoever is in charge of that ministry said so far?
The two, what we always understand is, when situations like this happen, we expect the Federal Road Safety to have issued a statement, or the police force. But trust me, as far as they're concerned, they are not aware of it yet.
Okay. Well, let me say good morning to Sir Moses Lolariran. He says, Archie and Olayomi, you are the only authentic telecast and broadcasters of my time. Thank you very much. Well done, guys. I appreciate all the time that we break down. He said, I appreciate all the time that we do. And then it's time that we break down the country into pieces, and Yoruba goes separate. I'm virtually calling for the separation that others have been calling for. But what do you think about all that? Well, insecurity. Well, no one is reacted to it yet, but let's move on to some of the other stories. 12 minutes to the past the top of the hour, and let me say